let me illustrate, because you might think to yourself, well, you know what, there are girls in the school, I have a sister, they have the same rights I have, right? That's an old fight, that's all over. Well, let me ask you this question. What do you guys have to do every day to avoid being the victim of violence or sexual violence? What do you guys have to do every day?
I would assume for a large number of people through the act.
Yeah. Generally the answer, the one good answer I heard actually was put on pants. That's actually the best answer that I've heard, is put on pants, okay? But if this was a room full of girls and women, it would be a lot different, okay? Because all of these things, some girls and women would have some of these concerns, some of them would have all of them, some of them would have all of them and more, right? They got to worry about, okay, I'm going to my car, is there anyone in the back seat of the car? I'm walking to the car at night, I'm walking around at night. Do I have a key in my hand in case someone attacks me? How's my hair? Do I have the hair in a ponytail? Can someone just grab that, right? There are all these different things that women and girls have to deal with on a daily basis, all right? So it hasn't changed. This stuff, and it's freaky because this is stuff that's around all the time. And we don't have to deal with it. So which is great, but we shouldn't act like it doesn't exist for them. And they shouldn't have to be in that situation. And you know what else what's missing from this list? Again, men. All of these, look at the way we managed to manipulate the language. Worry about leaving drinks at the table. I mean, this is the way you'd say it if you made the list. I wasn't like trying to like carefully craft the list. This is just the way you'd say it. Oh, what do girls have to worry about? Oh, they have to worry about leaving their drinks at the table. Yeah, in case a guy puts something into them. Worry about meeting people alone. Guys, really about meeting men alone, and so on. Each one of these could have men in it, but men, right down to the language, have managed to be snipped away and not included. So what I'm saying is be aware of it and understand that it's there and realize that you are not only included in it, but kind of the key factor in all of it. Right? Now women are 51% of the population. They're 51% of the human capital, if you want to get into economics. Every country in the world that has promoted the rights of women improves economically. There's a book called The Real Wealth of Nations that documents it quite clearly. You go country to country to country. Where women are oppressed, the economy bags out. Where women are promoted and encouraged and given more rights, the economy's improved. Makes sense. Like if we had to, if you were in like a situation where there's a whole big group of you, male and female, and you really have to solve a problem, how would you solve it faster? You know, by all working together, or by going, okay, 51% of you all stand over there and do what we say. And already you're taking your mind away from doing things that are important. Why spend the energy oppressing people when you can spend it making the world better? Right? Now, before I go, I have a couple more slides, so bear with me. I know I talk a lot. You know, the girls, by the way, in case you were wondering, the girls are having a presentation that's got lots of music and dancing and about feeling really good about themselves, and which is great. So you guys, but I do recognize my presentation got a little more to it. And I thank you guys. You guys have been really patient. I know it's warm in this room, and you've been sitting and being really patient. But give me like 4 more minutes, because this stuff is the most important stuff. Okay? What can you do about it? Speak up. If you're neutral in situations of injustice, you've chosen the side of the oppressor. So basically, if you see someone who's being sexist or racist or mean or whatever domain it is, say something about it. Don't just go, yeah, there's a lot of that around. Yeah, people are like that. Say something. Because that is what changes things. If you just let it slide, are you rotating around again? Wow. Okay, there we go. At any rate, so you must be just wearing an amazing cologne or something. I don't know what it is. It's just gotta pivot around. So, like I said, if you have a problem, if you have any tendency, if you have times where you feel like I could just kill them, like if you feel like you're like, oh man, if that's you, then tell someone about it. Because that ain't going to end up well. That doesn't end up well. And sometimes you just think, well, I guess that's just who I am, and I'm a teenager, I'm supposed to go through dark stuff, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. Ask for help. Because, like I say, that doesn't end well. you have the power to stop it, so stop it. If someone tells you something bad's going to happen, you're going to try and stop it. Right? Try and stop it. I'm telling you, so make sure you can do something. Don't fund sexism. Okay. Briefly, I'm going to mention pornography. Why? We call pornography porn. Part of porn, in the language, porn is Greek. It means prostitution. That's where the root of the word is. And pornography is essentially prostitution plus distance. That's what porn is. It's prostitution, but there's a pipeline that takes it, right? Whether it's a magazine, whether it's the internet, whatever it is, it's prostitution plus distance. I'm not going to give you a big lecture about how negative prostitution is. You can take a guess that if you did a bunch of research about prostitution, you'd end up with some pretty dark and negative stuff. What I'm saying is that supporting it online is supporting prostitution. It's basically what you're doing. Being interested in it, I'm not going to stop you guys from that. That wouldn't be really realistic now, would it? You're not going to tomorrow be like, well, you know, a couple of days ago I saw that guy and he said not to look at naked women, and he's right. I'll never even think about them again. I understand that that's not realistic, but there's a difference between being interested in seeing something and really just seeing it, right? Because if you're doing that online, that's what advertising knows, and you are someone who pays for prostitution. You are a digital John. That's what you're doing. You are putting money into a system that creates prostitution. Whether it's money out of your own pocket or money from advertisers who know how many eyes are on it, that's basically, you have now become an active force in prostitution. Okay? Very important to know. And remember, equal is the true normal. I mean, that kind of stuff should go without saying, you know? The fact that it's like, oh, one group of people is like this, and the other group of people isn't like this. You know, because if this were 100 years ago, a private school in Vancouver wouldn't have this mix of people in it, now would we? Right? You know why we wouldn't? Because even though we still have the ideas of equality, right? We look at Rousseau, this is hundreds of years ago, saying equality, liberty, equality. We had the idea of equality, but what did we do? We said, oh, well, yeah, liberty, equality among all people, but they're not people. They have that color. They're that race. So they're not people. So I totally believe in equality among all people, but they're actually not people. So we have all these stupid ways of putting things together.